everybody. So, there was a comment. Hang on. Because, of course, that had to happen right as I start recording. That asks, what the hell is wrong with the MAGA people? And I've talked to quite a few online and in person, and I can give a educated guess, a guesstimated educated guess. Here's my guess. Bigotry, racism, misogyny, hatred, and self-loathing all projected both outward and inward onto groups that they do not understand, or their understanding comes from itty-bitty little sound bites, rumors, and crap that they've heard on Reddit or other social media platforms, taken literally out of context, and so that they can essentially fuel their ideals and their stereotypes with it. They want to blame their situation on someone else so that they don't have to look in the mirror, look themselves in the eye, go back through history class, not sleep through it, not get high through it, not snore through it and drool in the back of the class. Yes, I saw each and every one of you. I heard each and every one of you. I smelled each and every one of you in high school. Yeah, those of you in AP World and U.S. History, I smelled you. I heard you. I heard the dumbass questions you asked. Did we have planes during the Civil War? How come we didn't bomb the crap out of Atlanta? Jesus Christ, some of you people. Y'all should have known better. I mean, okay, I get the why didn't we bomb them question. I mean, there were primitive explosives back then, but holy cow, people. Okay, so they don't want to look back and ask, where did we go wrong? What could we have done better? What could we, as individuals, as employers, as society, as congresspersons, as leaders, as teachers, as parents, what could we have done better? What could we as students, as protesters, as regular citizens have done better to make our communities, our homes, our land, our water, our air better? They don't want to do that. They want to live comfortably right here and right now. They don't care about tomorrow. They don't care about 50 years from now. They care about right now and 5 seconds from now, and that's it. They don't want to know about the hard questions or the hard answers because it doesn't bother them. It really doesn't. And if y'all think it does bother them, hate to break it to you, but y'all are going to have a really hard awakening here in January. And I'm going to be here for you. But it's going to be really rough. And it's going to be rough for me too, because I thought we were better than this. I thought that we as a country were better than this. We're not. We put the see you next Tuesday in country. We really do. The MAGA movement does. And I do not claim myself as them. I say we as in society. Because I thought we as a society were effing better than this. And we are not. We let ourselves down this time. Bad. But all hope is not lost. Because we have friends that are not going to let us down, and we cannot let ourselves down. Because the hope and promise of America is not dead. It's like a perennial plant. It looks like it's dead in the winter, but if you dig deep down underground, there's still roots. They're sheltered from the cold, where it's nice and warm, with enough nourishment and watering and care and time in the spring. It's going to come back stronger than ever, greener than ever, and more lush than ever. And the flowers of hope and change and love and kindness will bloom once again. It may not be today, it may not be in 4 years, but one day it will happen. So fellow gardeners, let's step up. Fellow geologists, fellow rock collectors. America's promise is like a metamorphic rock. It takes time and pressure to show the real changes, the real beauty, the real striations. It's going to take some time and some real pressure to show what we're made of. We just got to show that we're not going to crack, but that we've got some stripes under all these tears. We got this. Every one of us. We got this. To my LGBTQ plus friends, I stand with you. You are not alone. You are loved and perfect and beautiful just the way you are. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I don't care whom you love, as long as you are not harming anyone. You are perfect. To my friends who came here seeking a better life, you are welcome. You are just as American as any of us, because this country was built on immigration. And what would every other country on this planet be if not for immigrants? We are all immigrants in one way or another. So you are just as American as any of us, if not more so. Welcome. Welcome, brothers and sisters. Welcome to America. And thank you for being here. Thank you for doing the jobs that none of us want to do. And I am sorry that that work falls on you. I am so sorry that you have to do the jobs that we as Americans cannot step up and do, because it's hard and horrible, backbreaking labor, and companies either can't afford to or don't seem to want to be able to afford to pay us, because the healthcare would be too expensive, because it's so dangerous work. And to my fellow people with disabilities, there is something you can do. If you can do something, anything, you can organize in the digital space. You can sign petitions. You can attend Zoom meetings. You can organize in your community, in the digital and in the physical. If you live in an apartment complex like mine that is mostly disabled and elderly, I would organize to check on each other if you get along with any of your neighbors. I have a couple people I can rely on. We all check on each other by text and by phone. And if one of us needs something, we step up. For example, does one of us need something from the store? We either arrange to have it Instacarted, or if the other can go to the store, we go get it. And same goes for the food bank. We make a list and we say, okay, do you need, for example, do you need veggies? What do you need? Okay. Do you need rice or beans? Okay, perfect. I'll send my friend to the store and we'll get rice and beans. Can you garden? Fantastic. You can set up a container garden and grow veggies and small veggies and herbs. There we go. And you can trade them amongst your neighbors. set up small things like that. If you can learn yarn crafts or sewing, little things like that. Learn how to do these little things. Stock, if you can, small, simple first aid, hygiene supplies, cleaning supplies, anything like that. Learn simple things that you can do to be self-sufficient. I would also look up Hesperian health guides. They focus on working with underserved communities, mainly in places like Africa, Asia, things like that. But some of the information would be helpful for working in very rural parts of America where you don't have access to things like, I don't know, maybe backboards you might not have access to immediately. And I'm talking about, like, let's say something happens out in the middle of nowhere and you're out in the middle of the woods, for example. These would be measures to get you by until you get to medical help. This would not be a replacement for medical help. But let's say something happens and you have absolutely no access to medical care. This would be better than nothing. I am not giving medical advice. I'm not saying this is a replacement for medical advice. I am saying that this is a suggestion. Most of these books are available online. The 3 books I recommend are Where There Is No Doctor, which is there's older versions available in PDF form online. The newer versions are available in hard copy and paperback. They are a bit expensive. There's Where There's No Midwife, which is fully available as a wiki. Then there's The Disabled Village Child, which is very much useful if you have a child with a disability and need to rely on DIY treatments. Now that book does talk about things like treating things like epilepsy and whatnot with medication, but here in the States, you would not be able to get medication without going through a neurologist unless things happened where we were able to get things like that through nonprofits, which isn't going to happen yet, if ever. So that the information in that book about what treatments are available could be used to guide discussions if and only if deemed appropriate. Most of it is for children, not adults. And I want to emphasize that none of this is medical advice. Please do not take it as such. Please. There are also old vintage recipes that might become useful again from the Great Depression. I want to shout out The Wolf Pit here on YouTube. He has Eating on a Budget is a fantastic series. He teaches you how to cook with very little. Some of his recipes I would change just a little bit because I have texture and spice issues. But otherwise, oh my goodness, some of them are wonderful. And he also reviews some of the strangest foods here in the U.S., and he's really good. And he's my kind of guy. He grew up in the same kind of situation I did, so I get it. So shout out to Mr., if I may say your name, Mr. Larry Wolf. It's WOLFEPITT, I do believe, over on YouTube. That's all the tips I have for you today. If I think of anything else, I will hop back on here. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Please take care of yourselves. You're worth it and deserve it more than you will ever know.